Guys, what's up? I'm Nikhil, your TweetPad instructor, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how to create this really amazing looking 3D hand lettering using Cinema 4D and Adobe Illustrator. It's pretty simple and easy to create, so without any further ado, let's get straight into the video and get started. Alright, so here we are in Adobe Illustrator, so let's start by creating a new file. I'm going to keep it 1920 into 1080. Let's create. There we have it. Then I'm going to select my text tool and type in a text. Now you can select any text that you want. So I'm going to go with the same text that I showed you guys in the example. So I'm going to type in swirl. Also for the font, I'm going to go with absolute. It's a really nice font. And the font, I'm just going to be using this font for a reference. I won't be, creating the same exact path according to this font. So this font is just going to serve us as an example. So let's align this in the center and let's create outlines. Let's make this a bit bigger. And there we have it. I'm going to lock this layer and let's create a new layer. Select the pen tool. We don't need any fills, so I'm going to set the fill to none. And for the stroke, I'm going to go with 1 pixel. Let's change the color to red so we can see it more properly. And I'm going to start drawing our path. Now try to create as less point as possible and try to make the path as smooth as possible. So let's start from right over here. And I'm going to click and drag it to get this handle so we have a really nice control over our points. Let's select right over here, drag it, select right over there, drag it again. So I get this kind of point, so I can just delete it. Then now as you can see, we have this handle, but if I create a shape, it's not going to look that good. So what I can do is hold Alt and just drag it inside just like so. Hold Alt and drag it inside just like that. And again, I'm going to go right over here, create a shape or path just like that. Now there is no specific way of creating a hand lettering path. You can use your own creativity to create more, smooth and curvy looking paths, but try to, whichever font that you use, try to use it as a reference and don't exactly just, go along with the path of the font. So right over here, as you can see, I can't create a W just like that. That won't look good. So I'm going to hit Control Z. And what I can do is actually I can create a circular curve for our path just like so. Let's go right over here. Or maybe I'll go right over here and just create a path just like so. But as you can see, it's not looking good. So I'm going to hit Control Z, go right over here and create one curve just like that maybe. Then hold Alt and drag this handle just like that. Right over here. Create a curve. One more. Let's go right over here. Pretty good. Something like that. For the eye, I'm gonna again create a curve. And you can again, tweak the path into Cinema 4D as well. So you don't need to be, very precise while doing it. You can just try to, keep the curves or the points as minimal as possible. Something, or maybe I'll just drag this handle a bit more and create something like that. Pretty nice. For the L, I'll go with really basic curve just like so, and we are done. So here we have our path. Now what we can do is delete the text that we had. So here we have our path, and you can anytime tweak it in Cinema 4D as well. So if your path is not proper or not as you like it, you can again tweak it after you extrude it or make it 3D, so you'll get a better idea of it. So now we have our path. Let's save this file. So hit Control S to save this up. Let's save it on a desktop. I'll call this wall. And for the version, I'm going to go with Illustrator 8 because that is what Cinema 4D supports. Hit OK. So let's hop in Cinema 4D now. Let's click on File and Merge Illustrator File. So hit Open. Okay. And there we have our swirl path. So let's bring it into the center, just like so. So there we have it, really nice and simple. So now what I'm going to do is click right over here and add a subdivision surface. Then again, I'm going to go right over there and click on sweep. And lastly, I'm going to add a circle. Let's bring down the circle radius to around 20. Then what we need to do is drag the sweep into the subdivision surface, just like that. Drag that circle into the sweep, just like so. And for the swirl, I'm going to drag it below the circle, not into the circle, but below the circle. And there we have it. Now, right now, it's not looking that good because we need to increase the subdivisions of the circle. So now to make it look more interesting, what I can do is I can go into the swirl and change the intermediate points to subdivided. So just to make it look more smooth, let's go into circle. And what I can do is play along with the radius depending on what kind of look you want to go for. So I think 20 is pretty good. I'm going to leave it at 20. Let's go into the sweep. And then what I can do is I can go into caps. Let's set this to fillet cap, this to fillet cap as well. Let's increase the radius to around 20. Let's go 20. I think it's a bit too much. So what I can do is I just want the radius to affect just the edges. So I can click on constraint and that is going to fix that. Let's increase the steps to around 10. There we go. Maybe increase the radius a bit more, 25 or something. Okay, that is looking pretty good. For the end fillet cap, I'm going to do the same thing. Let's set this to 10. And for this, I'm going to go with 20. So we get this really nice and smooth looking edges. And that's that. Now to make it look more interesting and 3D, what I can do is let's go and select the subdivision surface and let's go into basic, turn on the X-ray so we can see the points. Let's select the swirl path, select our points tool, and now we can tweak the points according to our requirements. I'm going to select this point. Make sure to select the move tool, click on the point just like that, and then I can zoom in and drag it just like so into the 3D space depending on what kind of look I want to go for. Select this point. You can also tweak the handles, and this is what I was talking about. You can anytime tweak your 3D path into Cinema 4D. So now what I can do is right over here where it's intersecting, I can select this path and I want to push this back. So now just push it just like so. Select this path and push it forward just like so. So we have something like that. I just want to try to, avoid any kind of intersection between the shape. So yep, this is looking pretty good. You can anytime go and tweak or increase the curviness depending on your personal preference. I'm going to also go into the circle and let's actually bring down the radius to, let's go with 18 or something. Yep, that is looking much better. Let's select the swirl path again. And yep, everything is looking pretty good. Let's select this one, push this back. So select this one, push this forward. Pretty good. Let's bring this forward as well a little bit. Oh, maybe I think I'll leave it there. Now this one is a bit complex, so what I can do is I can select this and push this back again. Select this, and to make it more smooth I can just tweak the handles a little bit just to get a more smoother look. Push this a bit to the left, I guess. Let's bring this a bit closer, just like so. Pretty good. For this one, I'm going to increase this just a little. Pretty nice. Same for this points as well. Let's push this back. okay. This point, and let's push this forward a bit. And there we go. A bit of intersection is still there, so I'm gonna tweak it a bit more. Push this back a bit more. Yep. Push this a bit forward. There we go. And lastly, for the L, I'm gonna just drag it like so. You need to, give some time and play around with the path just to, get the desired look. Yep, this is looking actually pretty cool. Let's do it a bit more. So I'm gonna drag this handle a bit, just like so. It's still intersecting, so I'm gonna drag it even more. Okay, I think it's pretty good. Maybe just make it a bit. Yep, I think it's looking pretty nice. Maybe I'll just drag this a bit to the right side. Okay, so yep, this is looking pretty good. This point I need to tweak it a little bit. It's looking a bit too choppy, so let's make it smooth. Just like that. Yep, so this is looking very nice to me. So let's select the subdivision surface and go to basic and turn off the X-ray so you can see the actual shape. And now if I just pretty quickly render it, you can see it's looking very, very nice. Now for the render, I will be using Redshift, but you can use the inbuilt Cinema 4D render as well. So let's select the Redshift IPR window and lock it right over here. Make sure to turn it on so we can see the output. And one more thing that I need to do is for the eye, this is the S, W and I need to add a dot. So for that, I'll add a sphere pretty quick, just like so. Go to object and make it a bit small, just like that. And let's place it in the position that we want. So I'll just position it. There we go. Maybe we make it a bit small. So there we have the eye for the dot for the eye actually. Pretty nice. So really quickly, I'll just add a camera and lock this up. Let's get out of the camera. Okay. So the text is looking pretty nice. So let's create a material for our hand letter. So let's go into Redshift, materials and default material. I'm going to just drop it onto the subdivision surface. That is our path or the hand letter, you can say. And let's drop it on the sphere as well. And then I'm going to go into the light and add a dome light. So now you can see our hand letter is looking very, very nice. So pretty quickly in the dome light, I'm going to add an HDRI. So you can use any HDRI that you want. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to hit open and let's hide the HDRI. So you can see right off the bat, it's looking very, very nice. Now the complete look of our text also depend on the kind of HDRI that I use. So if I just switch it to a different one, maybe let's go with this one, you'll get a different and a really nice look, as you can see. So depending on which HDRI you use or which kind of lighting you use, you'll get the desired look. So I'll go with the same one. I think that was looking very nice. So hit OK. There we have it. And for the material, I can just double click on this and I can use some simple and default material that it has. I can use a tinted glass, which looks really interesting in itself. So I'll just increase the dome light a little bit so you guys can see it more properly. You can see looking very, very nice. Or maybe I can use an aluminium, which will look super cool. One of my favorite look. Or I can go with maybe let's say a platinum. nice, and maybe I'll go with let's say a gold one, which is again pretty interesting and looks really interesting and cool. So one more thing that you can do is, let's see if I set this to, let's say, glass, and I can just, you know, duplicate it by holding control and dragging layer. So we have a duplicate on this. And what I can do is, let's go into circle and bring down this radius size to around 5. Okay. And let's delete the material from there so you can see it. Okay. Let's go into circle. Let's bring this down to 5. And we get this really cool look. But now what I can do is just hold control and duplicate the material. Let's double click and open it up. Go into the RS material and let's actually set this to an emission material. So I'm going to go actually into edit shader graph, and let's go into the overall section and change the emission light to white. Let's give it a weight of maybe 5. Pretty cool. And let's drop it onto our subdivision that we created. And it's gonna take a few seconds, and there we have a really cool look. Maybe I'll just go into the overall settings and bring this down to maybe 2 or something like that. Pretty cool. And for this material, I'm gonna go and change this to, let's select this. Let's select this to tinted glass. And there we have a really interesting kind of a tube light kind of a look, which I think looks pretty interesting. What I can do is I can go into the circle and maybe make it a bit more smaller, something like 2. Yep, this is looking very nice. You can also go into the sweep and bring down the fillet cap size. So let's bring this down to, I guess, 10 should be good. Yep, that is looking perfect, I think. So you can see, really nice and looks very professional. So this is a really simple and easy way of creating a 3D hand lettering in Cinema 4D. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, take care and thank you so much for watching, guys.